Well, that day has finally come. What's up, everybody? This is Fred Ricciani of TSC News here with breaking news. According to TMZ Sports, confirmed by Dave Meltzer and Court Bauer of MLW Radio, Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer, TNA is not being renewed by Spike. That's right. After 9 years of programming, Impact Wrestling will cease to exist on Spike TV October of 2014. Just a couple months from now. According to the report, they quietly did not renew the deal. That being Spike. And hey, they ended on good terms. They just said, hey guys, we'll give you some time to look for a TV deal. But I'm sorry. We don't want you anymore. Now, I actually talked to somebody very close to the situation prior to this news breaking, just because, everybody's been hearing rumblings. And Dave Meltzer alluded to 3 things this week that could be, huge and make this the biggest week in wrestling this year, which is saying something considering we had the network already and, Warrior's death and all that. Keep in mind the WWE network numbers are actually being revealed on Thursday, so that could be another pivotal part of the business. And the person I talked to earlier also said, without even reading Dave Meltzer's report, well, yeah, this is a huge week for the business. So, anyway, I spoke to this person, and they told me that they heard about a month or so ago. I don't know if there was a formal deal or not, but he heard that Spike was interested in actually keeping TNA because they do above the station average, however, at less money. And if you really think about it, Spike's bent over backwards for TNA. They've, given him the Monday nights. They took him from Saturdays at 11 o'clock to Thursday prime time for an hour, gave him 2 hours, covered the cost of the tapings, covered the cost of, I think, Sting's initial contract in 2006. I mean, they were there for them. They kept TNA in business because TNA just did not know how to book wrestling properly, whether it be pay-per-views or otherwise. In fact, I mean, it got to the point, and it's been that way for a while, but more evidently this year, that TNA, the name itself, is actually an anchor for their talent. When's the last time you've seen any actual TNA talent cross over to WWE? Not for like 5-6 years, right? I mean, Christian maybe, R-Truth. You look at the indies. Indie promotions aren't really drawn with TNA guys. Now a guy like AJ Styles leaves TNA, goes to ROH, goes to New Japan. All of a sudden, people are looking at him in a different light, in addition to the fact he's one of the best in the world. But yeah, so now the question is, what the hell does this mean for the future of TNA? Well, they got one more set of tapings scheduled for August. They got Bound for Glory, which I'm assuming they're still doing in Japan, which makes no sense. I don't know. I mean, from what I did hear, Spike did want TNA for less money, and TNA didn't like that. And now they're off Spike TV, or going to be off Spike TV. And, well, they're probably going to have to take less money. I don't know how much they were getting from Spike. Maybe it was like $5 million a year, maybe less. I don't know. Could be more. But they're kind of screwed. And I feel really bad for the talent. But I don't feel bad for the management. And I don't feel bad for Dixie Carter. And I don't feel bad for Vince Russo. And I think it's a scumbag thing to do for Vince Russo to be hawking VIP memberships for his website on Twitter at the same time this news breaks. Because guess what? Dave Meltzer said that Vince Russo was probably the straw that broke the camel's back with Spike TV and TNA. Because guess what? For whatever reason, TNA didn't tell their talent, let alone their content partner, that they've been employing Vince Russo since last year. Never mind the fact that he's a horrible writer, terrible for the business, a bigot, whatever. Okay? Just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Now, I did talk to another person, all right, last week who's close to the situation, and they said that they personally don't think that Vince Russo is a gigantic factor, but that Vince Russo is a factor, and that maybe most of Spike just doesn't care for him, but there are 1 or 2 key guys that actually really, really don't like him. And he closed his email they sent me by saying this. At the end of the day, I don't think it matters whether Vince Russo is employed or not, as far as the grand scheme of things. But if he's labeled as the guy that killed TNA, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. So that's all you got to know about how people feel about Vince Russo on Spike's side. And, yeah, we all know how people feel about him on the fan and wrestler side and in the Jim Cornette side. But, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I'll keep you guys posted. Again, TMZ Sports, great work by them. Court Bauer, Dave Meltzer, everybody that's been on top of the story. Mike Johnson of PWI, who broke the story that there was a meeting in Nashville called with Dixie Carter. I don't know if she's going to make this a battle cry and try to just get the talent to rally behind her and find a TV deal. I don't know what's going to happen. All I can say is it's unfortunate for as pathetic of a company as TNA's been. You know what I mean? You don't want to see that happen to any company. You don't want to see guys lose their jobs. But you know what? This company had 12 years, a hell of a lot more time than most promotions. They couldn't get the job done. I wish the talent the very best. And I guess we'll see if this is really the end. TNA Impact Wrestling. But if you guys want to follow more news updates, we have live recap shows almost every day. We have plenty of interviews too, including with TNA stars. I mean, I just interviewed their former world champion Eric Young. I interviewed Davey Richards, who's their current tag team champion. I mean, we have a big TNA presence here, as far as like exclusives and interviews and stuff. And it just, yeah, it's unfortunate. So I wish them all the very best. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. Please share this with all your friends. And as always, enjoy the matches.